That's a very good question. We see the big struggle, understandable so, of needing to go to an egg donation process. And I think it comes from different aspects. The first, there is always some sadness about giving up on your own genes. Very natural. I mean, there's only few people that will say, well, I'm okay, it's fine. It doesn't matter to me. There are some, but the majority always feel like I want it to be mine. This is my dream. And the moment I became a parent, I want it to be my genes. So that's one part that requires some soul searching and sometimes some counseling. There is no shame, the opposite, like get some counseling, put out some of those things out and address them. They're very, very, very normal. The second is always the fear, am I going to love this child as mine, and is this child going to love me the same way? And this being, how good of a mom or a dad or a parents I'm going to be, which, by the way, it's a fear also when it's your own genes. So many people are like, am I going to be a good mom? What I'm going to love? You don't know it. So those are all very, very legitimate and natural fears that come with this process. And we think it's very important to address them and talk about them. And you can talk about them with a partner, you can talk about it with friends, or you can talk about it with a counselor, and just put it out there and address them. From our experience, at least, while it takes sometimes quite a long time sometimes to accept that, we've never seen regret. We always hear the opposite. My God, I don't know why I went through 10, 11 IVF and spent so much money. I should have moved to egg donation much earlier because it makes no difference. And we hear it all the time. And it's funny because I have patients coming in with their kids and I forgot that they use egg donor. Like you can't. So from a mom perspective, all we hear is like, how happy they are and the fact that they should have done it sooner. Some of them said, I've wasted time and money and misery, and I'm so happy. So the answer is no, the opposite. We don't see them regret. We regret them just suffering so much to get to that point. The second aspect, does the child feel the same? And they've done actually a lot of studies on that, and it's very hard to, what study can you do? Some of the studies look about the child well-being at school, and it's not a perfect method, but one of the things they look at, if a child do well at school behavioral wise and so on, it means that he's well adjusted. It doesn't have to be the A student, but if he doesn't have behavioral issues and so on, it means he's adjusted well. Now, I'm very careful about saying it because kids can have tons of behavioral issues and having the most loving family. I'm not in any way I meant that, but it's a very imprecise way that they try to assess that. And there was no difference at all. Those kids were well adjusted and not, no, from the kid perspective, not at all. That's all they knew. They were born to this loving family, so not at all. But one important point to bring up is telling the kid or not. There was a lot of discussion about that. And in the US now, everybody's pushing into saying, and I agree with that, but I also feel it's extremely paternalistic from anyone to come and tell a family what to do. Ultimately, it needs to be something you're comfortable. But if you're looking at the literature and if you're looking at studies, telling the child is a way better way to go. And and it's very important how you say it, of course. There are different ways of saying, you know what, I couldn't give my own and I chose the best gene for you for me to carry. So there's so many very empowering way on how to do it. And it's very important to do it, to talk about it early on. And one of the reason, not only that the child can discover it later on in life now with, 23andMe and you name it, these things come out, is that if you don't tell it to the child, there is always a secret that runs in the family. And children and human are very sensitive, especially children, of something is hidden from them and they don't know what's this black hole. I mean, it could be something awful. So there is always this cloud that can carry on of something that is not told in the family, that potentially can be discovered later on, and then it can be traumatic if nobody told. So, talking about, am I going to be a good parent? 100, I mean, we all hope so, but if you're going to be a good parent or not has nothing to do with an egg donation. It's like your own kind of who you are. Is the kid going to love you? If you're going to be a good parent, absolutely. It won't make a difference. But those things about telling or not are very important. So, yeah.